Hello, Dave.
Hello, Matt. How are you doing?
All right.
Good. Let's see how this one goes. Let's see if we're going to be competing with President-elect Trump and Seth Rogen on the 3 hours, or if we can cut it back from there.
I'm sure we can cut it back from there.
Okay, we will see. We will see.
The answer to every question
right.
is yes, unless they want money, then the answer is no.
Okay, you started off with remember.
Hold on a second, gotta get the thingy uppy. Okay, remember the 5th of December. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Anyway, it's time for the 2024 Please Hold for Dave Sim Christmas Spectacular. Everybody, remember last year's when I listed a bunch of celebrities and used my Don Pardo voice? Good times.
I remember it well.
I'm not doing that this year. Never repeat yourself. You know who said that? Merv Griffin. Used to say it all the time. Like a broken record, that guy.
Yak. I'm going to interrupt and go, well, we got to do something Christmassy. So what I've done is I've written my own Christmas carol.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
You know, the morbidly curious part always says yes. We've never gotten complaints about your singing on these things. I've always thought eventually somebody would be like, oh, there Dave goes again singing, whatever. And it's like, nope, everybody usually just says, okay. The comments come few and far between. Okay,
well, it's Grandpa. There's nothing you can do about Grandpa. Caution, this is a real earworm. And the closer we get to the 25th, the more you're going to have it in your head. Because it's actually about the effect of Western society Christmas the closer you get to the 25th, and it goes a little something like this: Christmas, 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 Christmas. Christmas, 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 Christmas.
I don't think you're going to get Mariah Carey grabbing the publishing rights.
You don't know that. You wait and see how many people got that going in their head. I was thinking maybe you and Paula and Janice Pearl and Bullwinkle and all of their little friends, you could get together somewhere and do a video of all of you singing Christmas, 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 etc., etc.
I like the idea of going caroling and making people do that. I just don't know where I would do it. In the apartment building sounds like I could get evicted.
I was thinking maybe in the middle of a major traffic jam in a mall parking lot. Just, nobody's giving way. Everybody's getting irritated. Just get out of your car and go, everybody sing. Okay. We begin with, Dave says, actually, Matt, I have things that I want to address. And then Matt says...
In a minute, Sim, we begin, as always, with one of us remembering Cerebus Fan Jeff Seiler. And since you won the coin toss, I have to. And I actually did print out my notes. I thought it would be more extensive than it was.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Flashing back to last month when MJ, Mike, Dodger, Shirley Sewell suggested doing an iguana and beer making jokes about you not having a kitchen in Kitchener. And
right.
The problem when people suggest iguana and beer strips is that my brain instinctively goes, no, that's just not funny. I don't see the hook, and I start to dig in and just will not give on even considering whatever the idea is. doesn't matter how good it is. My brain doesn't work that way. That's not how my brain wants to play.
Right.
Which ties into Jeff, because back in 2008, on the Cerebus Yahoo group, gives you an idea of just how long ago this was. When we were all younger and thinner and had more hair.
With calendar pages just swirling away from us.
Ryan Dunn, a name that in Cerebus Yahoo fandom lives in infamy, because he's the one guy that annoyed everybody enough that the moderators banned him. To be fair, Ryan...
I didn't remember that part.
Ryan had mental health problems, and he went off the deep end a couple of times, and was posting to the group, and just you could tell he was manic type thing, and it got bad enough that they finally said, hey, no, we got to ban this guy. And
right,
but this is February of 2008, so this is before that happened. He had posted, for newer Cerebus fans or older Cerebus fans who weren't part of the Yahoo group, you lucky dogs, what would happen is someone would post something about Cerebus or Dave or Gerhard or Glamourpuss or something that was what we would call on topic, and within, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, somebody would comment and somebody else would comment, and then it would be a tangent off of whatever the topic was, and sometimes they labeled their posts off topic and sometimes they didn't. And Ryan commented on somebody's post about something, was talking about football, and he's from Scotland, so he means football, not that bastardized rugby that us Americans refer to as football.
Right, footy.
And he's talking about football teams, and he doesn't understand how in America, and to an extent Canada, most sports teams, there's just one team for whatever sport in whatever city. New York aside, it's generally like the Packers are in Wisconsin, the Bears are in Chicago, the Rams are in a lot of different places since 2008.
Rams are a bad example.
But,
Your Honor, I withdraw that remark.
I mean, to snag in the 2024 people who will be wait football. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are in Kansas City.
There you go.
Meanwhile, over in Europe, London alone has like a dozen different football clubs, and on the same level. So it's London playing London type thing. But of course, they don't call the clubs London. They're whatever. So he's talking about this, and it's an off-topic thing, but he didn't label it off-topic. But I, being a good Yahoo group member, not trying to incur the wrath of any of the moderators, switched it to off-topic and said football, and responded to Ryan with, and this is where I got a quick digression. So in my Iguana and Beer comics, they live in the city of Placeopolis, because all good comic book stories take place in a crappy knockoff of New York City. So it's Placeopolis. The place they live is Placeopolis. And in one of the strips, I referenced their youth when they were little kids growing up in Locationville, which is obviously an allusion to Smallville. Because it's one of those things that made me laugh of, when they were kids, they lived in Locationville, which I can just see somebody staring at a map going, where's Locationville? It's like, well, you can't find Locationville? So anyway, back to Ryan. He posted about football, and my comment was, my team of choice is the Placeopolis Active Participants, with an asterisk. So what if I made them up? They always win when it counts. Matt Dow. And then as a PS, I put asterisk, formerly the Placeopolis Skelpin Injuns, with an asterisk. Another asterisk, formerly the Placeopolis Spear Chuck and Jigaboos, with an asterisk.
Whoa, okay, all right. All right. I'm processing that one, Matt.
Wait, hold on. And then another asterisk with formerly the Hudson Plumbing Supply Spear Chuck and Jigaboos. Because back in 2008 was one of the waves of, hey, this team name is kind of offensive to some marginalized group, usually indigenous people of North America, or Indians, or Redskins. And every time it would come up of, okay, some team has to change their name because somebody's protesting against it, and they would throw it up in suggestions. I would always say active participants. Obviously the guys on field are active participants. They're on the field. The guys on the sideline may not be active participants, but at least the guy out kicking the ball, he's an active participant. And it was a joke. I mean, it was sort of a joke, sort of a, hey, if you're going to change the name, why not just be blatant? We're not going to change it from the the Warriors and the logo is an Indian or an Indian warrior to something else, like the Cheetahs or something. Just active participants. It'll be fine.
And if you're not going all the way over to no name, active participant is a good compromise.
There was a high school that had, I think they were the Indians. I can't remember what the team name was, but a complaint was lodged, and they voted, and the student body changed the name of the team from whatever it was to the Fightin' Whiteys. And the logo was a stereotypical 1950s suburban dad head, and the motto for the team was everything's gonna be all white. And the school made like $20,000 selling T-shirts because everybody who heard about it went, "That's hilarious! I have to get one."
Yeah,
I think my dad owns one of the shirts. I mean, that's how it's one of those things where it was a viral thing back around 2008. So anyway, I post this to the Yahoo group, and again, I know it's a poor taste joke, but it's also a true iguana and beer joke because it's the guy. I'm the guy that created Fluffy the Jungle Bunny. For
that's right.
People who don't know, Fluffy is a rabbit that was raised in Africa a la Tarzan. He's a bunny who lives in a jungle.
We are talking about Matt Dow's brain here. I mean, Boner the Runtop. That can only come out of Matt Dow's brain because there's just there's an escape hatch there for just about everything. I'm
trying to remember. Oh yeah, I'm reading 1984 at work, and I'm like, I'm going to do a 1984 parody with Iguana and Beer. Because I'm to the part in the book where Winston Smith is being tortured and they're trying to change his mind. And I'm going, okay, it's 1984 with Iguana and Beer, so who's the leader of the party? Is it Big Beer? And I'm like, yeah, that's probably how it would go. And then this little voice in my head went, well, yeah, but you got to make a gag where Boner's in it. And somebody's like, how come you're not the leader? He's like, because they won't let me do Big Boner.
No Big Boner. Okay, get back to your story. Anyway, come on, we got to move along here.
So Jeff comments on my post going, so if the Placeopolis active participants always win when it counts, and they win big, then can it be referred to as a smear? And signed it Slambo, because that's back when his nickname was Slambo.
Right.
And then he commented on his own post, saying, get it, huh? The, in asterisk, capital P, Lopolis, in asterisk, capital A, active, in asterisk, capital P, participants, smear, Slambo, who really enjoys amusing himself. And it's one of those, I read it and went, that's not what the joke is at all. I get how you got to where you're at, but it's like, no, the joke is their name was super offensive and we made it the least offensive thing we could do. Not
right.
A pap smear joke.
Right.
And like to this day, I'm mildly offended that he thought that would that would be a good idea type thing. And he's dead. He's gone. I can't call him up and say, yeah, hey, remember that joke you made? I still don't like it.
That's right. 16 years later, and that still rubs my Matt Dow further the wrong way. Okay, so let's segue from that grisly image, mental image of rubbing Matt Dow's further wrong way.